Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rich T here, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing about the recent announcement to the new character Crimson Viper that is going to be added into Street Fighter 6. Now, she's not new, as in like other characters like Aki or Rashid. She's been around since the days of Street Fighter 4, mainly vanilla Street Fighter 4, which was in 2009. And in today's topic, we're just going to be discussing on what are we going to be hoping for when it comes to the circumstances and her being added in the future, being in autumn. So let's get into the vid and discuss it. So one of the things that made Crimson Viper different compared to other characters in Street Fighter 4 was that she was more technical compared to other folks in the game. Like if it was like a Ryu, Chun Li, or any other characters, she was pretty more technical compared to others. Because if you were a newbie and you saw her, was it normals or like combos that she would normally do, you wouldn't understand how it all works. It's like the same with Chun Li in Street Fighter 6. Like, Chun Li is technical in that game, but I'm thinking to myself that she could be more technical than Chun, or she could be the same technical character as like she is in Street Fighter 6. I'm not too sure exactly, but we'll have to see eventually when the time comes when she's out or her gameplay footage is shown. So we'll just need to find out about that. One thing that is kind of interesting is that she's still what's it called, analyzing or scouting on the DNA analysis, not DNA, well, something like that, about finding fighters that she could use their fighting styles and everything they do and use it to analyze into robots. Because if we think about it, in the trailer, she's working under SIRN, which is the people that make the robots in the World Tour series, and they use different characters' fighting styles, being like Chun Li, Kimberly, anyone you can think of in the Street Fighter 6 area. So when it comes to that, I think with this, I think she's still doing the same thing what she did back in Street Fighter 4. For example, in Street Fighter 4, she was mainly just working for SIN, which was saying kind of like the same as Street Fighter 6's SIN, but instead of having robots to use the fighting styles and other characters, it would mainly be related to Seth. And if you don't know who Seth is, Seth was the main villain protagonist in the Street Fighter 4 era. So he would copy people's fighting style and use it against them during like their fight. If you played against him in like either the arcade or fought him in like the matches and such, but it depends on like what you see entirely with the lore of Street Fighter because it is kind of confusing, but some of it is pretty interesting when you think about it. The other thing of the topic that I'm going to be also discussing with Crimson Viper and what we'll see in the Street Fighter 6 era is when it comes to her rival in Street Fighter 6, many of us are either determined that is her rival going to be either example is it going to be like Bison again, like what happened in the Street Fighter 4? If you were playing as Bison in the arcade story, your rival will be Crimson Viper. I will put a video here now.
I'm honored to finally meet you in person.
I don't know who you are, nor do I care. Your technology, however, intrigues me.
So from that clip on, it shows that obviously Bison's rival is Crimson Viper in the Street Fighter 4 era. However, the thing he only cares about is obviously her technology that she's got from the SIN side. However, another video or a clip I'm going to show is if Chun Li was Crimson Viper's rival for Street Fighter 6, which I'm going to show the clip here.
You! Stop impeding my investigation!
Impeding? That's not very nice.
Now you'll get what's coming to you. This is gonna hurt, sister.
So from that clip on, it shows that obviously Chun Li was investigating the situation between SIN and the law between that. But Crimson Viper was impeding it, and impeding basically means that you're just interrupting it. You're not going to like cause anything or anything. You're just going to delay the person trying to investigate the situation or something. So it could be either that, or it could be obviously the Bison one. We're not too sure because when you think about it makes sense that why it would be the Bison one because if you've seen the teaser trailer, it was her talking to our obviously the character for World Tour about what exactly who Bison is and the DNA or the whatever it's called that they have found from Street Fighter Five or something. I'm not too sure on how SIN have found the thing for Bison. It kind of makes no sense because Street Fighter's lore from Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6 they don't match up because it goes the time period for Street Fighter from Street Fighter 4 to 6 it goes from 4 to 5 in like a few weeks or a year or two. I'm not too sure. Then it goes to Third Strike, then follow that it goes to Street Fighter 6. It is kind of very confusing to say the least, but at the end of the day, as long as like people are happy and Capcom have got money in their pockets, no one's going to be complaining about the law between Street Fighter. It's like the same with Tekken because apparently Tekken's story is kind of like weird because it from like Tekken 5 or like to Tekken 8 it was like a time period for 1 year, so it is kind of like confusing to say the least. Apart from that, I would say that for the Street Fighter 6 player base, they'll probably be confused on who this character is as well, because obviously, like I said, she hasn't been out since Street Fighter 4. Actually, she has been in Street Fighter 5, but she weren't like a playable character to say at least. She was like in a cutscene for Jury during the Street Fighter 5 days. That's about it. And with the Street Fighter 6 teaser trailer showing, I'm thinking to myself, this was obviously going to be like the impact on every new character. For example, like when Akuma dropped, when other new characters dropped, everyone was playing him. Like no matter what new character drops for a week, everyone played him. No matter what you'd see, it would always be either the Akumas, it'd be the Mai's, especially the Mai's. They would always see a lot of my players during her time period. But I think to me, in my opinion, that it's not going to be like many players going to be playing her because if it's going to be like the same as her technical playstyle, same as her Street Fighter 4, it may be slightly bit more difficult for her to like have a lot of player base. It'd probably be like maybe the same as Chun's, as in like a few like at first it'd probably be like what a 10% player base, and it will go down to like maybe like a 4% or 3%, depending on how people determine on how Capcom are gonna make her out, as in like what type of inputs is she gonna have? Like, is it gonna be like a Z input, or is it gonna be like motion input, where it's just quarter circle forward, or is it gonna be like a charge or whatever? So we're not too sure what could happen the following few weeks. The other thing that I also want to talk about is the certain impact on could cause like legacy players to return to Street Fighter 6, even though many of the legacy players do not like the drive system. I mean, I can kind of see it. Drive system is kind of silly sometimes here and there, but hypothetically, like it'd be pretty cool to what's it called? See most of the old players back in the Street Fighter 4 days just to play the Street Fighter 6, just to play Crimson Viper would be a cool thing. Um, Another thing I like to point out as well is what was I going to say? Um, the thing that they'll probably will do following Street Fighter 6 is obviously they'll add in Crimson Viper's legacy outfit, which is obviously her in the black outfit or black suit and the tie and everything. So that will be obviously added, but then obviously they'll probably make something from Street Fighter 4 days on what outfits you have, or maybe like a new outfit. We don't know. We'll just have to find out, surely. So that basically wraps up with today's video and such. It's not really a video of mine that I normally make. This is like the first time I'm showing what gameplay footage to a video, but like the topic is still relating to like things I'm going to explain. But other than that, we'll just have to see the gameplay trailer first. Then I'll discuss more about it in the future episodes or videos or well whatever. But other than that, if you do wish to speak to me, you can follow me on Discord, obviously, in a server that I'll put a link in the description below, or the Chun-Li Discord, depending on like who you play or whatever. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Peace.